Well, we are 3 days into the season of Song of Strife, and we've had a lot of time to see what the systems look like, what the reward structures look like, and how everything is playing out, whether it's game modes being changed, new heroes being introduced, and all that. And I wanted to take a minute to kind of talk about everything, mainly because it looks like Reddit has been blowing up lately all over the place on a bunch of different topics, and I kind of wanted to take my time the past couple days, compile everything into a list, and kind of give you guys my view on a couple of different things. And when I say a couple, I literally have like 8 or 9 things that I want to talk about, and make sure you guys understand the changes that happened, what happened, how it did change, and then also kind of what my opinion is on what we could do to make a better change. And this is almost like feedback for Lilith. I've been trying to talk to the community managers and everything, trying to get constructive feedback going. So number one, if you guys have any type of suggestions on anything we talk about here, please try to stay positive. The second people start throwing stuff around, let's be honest, the other party usually just turns their ear off. But if you get constructive criticism, and I've said this in all the games I played, constructive criticism, if we can get enough of it, it can potentially make a really good change for a game or better rewards. Now, we did get a ton of extra rewards with the Song of Strife, but certain game modes were changed, and I want to talk about that here today. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. If you guys agree, disagree, whatever, leave a comment down below. Again, try to keep it a little positive so that it doesn't like go down the rabbit hole, you know what I'm talking about. Hit that thumbs up button so other people can see it in the algorithm, and of course, hit that subscribe button, and we'll be continuing to talk about all this stuff in the week to come. So I peruse Reddit all the time during the day. I literally got the app as one of my most viewed apps out there. There's been a bunch of posts on Reddit that you guys can go read for yourself if you want, but this is one that I saw yesterday that kind of got my wheels turning. Like, I should make a list of all the things that I've seen that are different so that I can actually compare apples to apples from first season, which was launched, to this season, and trying to differentiate what the reasoning was, what the changes were. And this one was like really good. Changes to open world rewards, Trial of Abyss feels super easy, AFK stages, there's no invite letters, gems. And I was like, oh yeah, there's actually a lot of these things I didn't realize because I was just powering through all my levels trying to get to the end game again as fast as possible instead of taking the time and seeing what was going on around us. And that's what kind of sparked my interest to figure that all out. Let's start out and talk about all the things that I have noticed. So number one is going to be the open world. As you guys know, with a new world out here, there are a ton of new chests to find, tons of mini games, puzzles, and all that. I actually enjoyed doing the new treasure hunt. Felt like literally archaeology in World of Warcraft back in the day, which I'm sure some people are doing right now with the season of the classic WoW going with Cataclysm. It was cool. I liked it. I liked the different type of combats and everything, the different puzzles, all that. That was really fun. I really enjoyed the open world this time. One thing I did notice, though, is there is a little bit of a trade-off. Those chests seem to have either less gems or no invite summons, like the invite letters that we saw previously. But I think that's in partly because they did change this system here. So now you're getting a lot more diamonds and of course affinity, which affinity then gives you more diamonds and invite letters. So they kind of like, I don't know if it's a 1-for-1. I didn't do the exact calculation, but they're basically giving you like each one of these is now 1,000 affinity, which if you actually take a look at your heroes and you take a look at the rewards for the affinity system, at 1,300 you're getting an invite letter. So it's almost like they're trying to give it to us through the affinity system instead of just finding it in the chest, which isn't a one-to-one comparison, but I do think that might have been part of the reason for it. I personally would love to see more invite letters back in the chest, because it felt good when you're in the open world. You find a chest, you find an invite letter. That's the first thing I can suggest. Let's just get a few more invite letters in some of these open world chests. We're still getting the epic ones. I want some regular ones too. Now, the next one was a really good comparison somebody put together. Just put it in one little image for us, comparing the previous Travelogue and the new one. And it's got pretty much the same cosmetics. Instead of having the selection chest for the hero on the paid version, they now have the rate up invites. The epic invites did go away, but you have regular invites. So I feel like that kind of like evened out overall, because then again, this goes for like a new hero copy, whereas these were some of the older heroes. If you want Alsa, this is better. If you want more of the traditional heroes, this might have been better. So it kind of had a little bit of a trade-off. The only difference I noticed is you are getting a lot more hero essence this time around, which was the big chokehold in the previous season. I think you got like 17 million hero manuals, but most of those went to waste if you bought this, whereas this time they lowered the amount of training manuals and they upped the dust. So I think that is a good change overall, but I do know the one complaint some people are saying is we're not getting those acorns. And even me on my account, where we're building a lot of heroes, I have a lot of heroes that I could bring up to like mythic plus, maybe even supreme, but the fact that I don't have enough acorns right now is part of the problem. This didn't help the problem by any means. I do see what they were trying to do. They were trying to give us more hero essence so we didn't get that chokehold as fast, but it still feels like it's lacking a little bit. Like I said, the summons, that kind of evens out all that. I think the acorns is probably one of the big complaints that I've seen on this one, and I want more acorns, because there's a couple game modes where acorns are not as prevalent, and if we're not getting as many summons in the open world like we talked about from the chest, that's going to mean less acorns and less heroes that we can build. So if we can get more acorns either in this or in some other game mode, I would absolutely love that. The next topic is Dream Realm. We had a video out earlier today. I'm just going to go over this really quickly in case you guys didn't check out the video, which you should go check out. Basically talking about the changes that have been done to the boss's scaling. Essentially, their damage reduction scales up higher, which true damage does not bypass. It is affected by that. However, their magic defense and their physical defense doesn't scale as quickly. So it makes certain heroes like we've been using a little bit stronger. Our Odie is now kind of like our top dog, and it might also come down to like the season skills too. Like this season skill is the same as on Merrily, I believe. It's pretty close to the same thing, but it might scale differently on different heroes. Don't really know how that works out. And then you have other heroes like Corin, who again has the same type of ability. We just don't know how it scales. It does seem like magic defense users are the best right now, mainly because of chaining all these active skills and everything. If you want more details, go check that one out. If they could just tweak some numbers, that would be cool. But again, it used to be like Merrily #1, Odie #2, Core #3. Now it's like Odie #1, Merrily #2, Core #3 with some other heroes that can jump in. It's not a huge difference, but on that topic, I do kind of wish that when they do changes like this, building the hero is fine. If you invest in the hero, you built the hero, you still have the hero. I do wish they allow you to maybe potentially like refund some of the essence that we get, because as you guys know, this essence is not the easiest to get. And if we could get some sort of like refund whenever they change something, whether it's a hero or a game mode that makes the hero maybe not as relevant or not as good, and give the player the option to either keep that hero or rebuild them, I think that would be really, really cool. Now, we just kind of talked about the acorns changes. We've talked about the essence changes, and that both leads into the season legend trial, because as you guys know, you've probably seen, we get a significantly less amount of even the title essence. Yeah, we get a lot fewer of these guys in here. We used to get like 30, now we're getting ×2. Granted, we are tearing through the floors at a faster pace than previously, but I think it's more of like a psychological thing. You've cleared the tower once, you see what the rewards were, and then you go to clear it a second time, and the rewards are much different. That definitely feels not as good. It doesn't feel as good, and I can understand the complaint in that. The rewards, of course, are, you know, they're getting some more premium stuff kind of mixed in. You're able to get hero essence still, all that fun stuff, but at the same time, just give us more. Make that just change in the code, just put a 0 right behind it. I would be happy with that type of change. That, and of course, I want more acorns. You guys know I'm greedy, because again, I have a bunch of heroes that like I could even bring up. I think one of them was a hero that I've been wanting to build for a while, Reese, but like I just don't want to invest all my omnicorns in case I need them for another hero. So please just give us another way to get more of those acorns, whether it's legend trial, whether it's the battle pass, essentially, whatever it is. I just want more, and if they could just add a little bit extra here, it would feel a lot better. So the next topic is actually battle drills, which I honestly don't have a big problem with. Eventually, games are going to need to start grouping servers, and instead of merging servers, if they do these districts, I'm okay with that. So one thing they did do is they pretty much have a lower kind of like, they have the same rewards essentially for your server, but they've added a second tab for this resource. Now, this is for district, and I can understand both sides of this. Number one, people are kind of like mad because they're like, well, this is just going to put whales further away. Guess what? It's not just this that's going to put it further away. It's them continuing to spend money that's going to put them farther away. So I don't see this as a problem because I play as free to play, monthly card holder, whale. I play at all those price points, and I can kind of see how that affects this. I just want to see meaningful progress on my account. I know in the long run, my rank is not going to stay the same. Like on my free to play, I think I'm in like the top 50. I know eventually that's probably going to slip down to 60, 70, so on and so forth, because people are going to continue to spend more and more in the game, and they're going to have that advantage. So while this is nice to see, I kind of wish they just up the rewards a little bit on the lower tier now that districts have so many more people involved in this, because there's a ton. I think it's like what, 4 or 5 districts or something like that. Yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 5 different districts to get grouped together, which does also lead me into another point I want to talk about. That is battle drills. Now that battle drills are added into districts as well, that does mean the pool is watered down more as far as the reward structure goes on these. And that does mean that technically the competition becomes even more difficult going up against others in your district. I kind of wish they would just, oh, this map is crazy too. Like I'm happy I'm not in guild leadership to have to plan this guy out, because this looks absolutely insane to try to tell who to attack what, try to be optimal, try to be competitive. Neither here nor there, but I do hope they kind of make the system a little bit better for like the points and everything, the treasure redemptions. They took away the epics and they're now getting rate ups, which me personally, I don't mind that. I know there are going to be some people that would rather have epics, but again, that's personal opinion. I'd rather have rate ups to save up for potential new heroes, and that too. So if they could up the rewards in anything that has district combat, I would really enjoy that, because you're not going to rank as high in your districts because there's a lot more players that are probably spending, and as a free-to-play, you're going to fall behind a bit, but you have to kind of expect that at the same time. In an idle AFK game, you're never going to keep up because that other person is going to continue to spend, and you're going to continue to not spend. So the AFK battle system. Overall, I'm actually been pretty happy the way it's been working out. It's been some really fun competition and waves. Like they've introduced some really annoying enemies, but at the same time it's fun to figure out how to beat them, and they've also added actual multi-team battles in here as well. Pretty interesting. The only real complaint I have about this system right here, and it's not even a big one, you get the new seasonal essence, you get the seasonal equipment chest, and that's pretty much it. I don't even think you get diamonds at this. We got Juro's trial coming soon. I don't even think you get diamonds on this anymore, honestly. This was a good source of summons for the regular season. Like on the regular version, it was actually pretty solid to get a decent amount of summons free to play. I wish they would bring back some just regular invites, or maybe add some rate up invites further apart than what they used to have in the old system. Just any way that we can get additional summons and continue to get more summons will delay that drop off of progression, because of course you're still going to get progression as your heroes build up. As time goes on, technically you don't need as many regular invite letters, epic invite letters, because you will slowly build all the heroes up, at least the ones that are important. If we could get some stuff added back on here though, I would absolutely love it, especially on my free to play or even my monthly card holder team. And this is just the last one that I kind of came up on my own with. One thing I'm kind of missing. I'm actually really missing the fact that as we go through, we beat all these open world not boss fights, but just regular fights. We do all these chests, we do all that fun stuff. One thing that I'm kind of missing is this right here. You remember the Emporium that we were dealing with at a constant basis? Some of the stuff in there really good, other things not nearly as good. Most of the time the gear felt kind of wasted here, but we're not getting this secondary resource, the Holostone coins. I wish they had one like an Ashen Waste coin or something like that, because it was really nice getting these training manuals. Granted, the training manuals were usually wasted after a certain point, but getting these A-level tokens were actually really fun, and it did give a sense of progression on your A levels. If we could get something like that added, maybe they can't do it this season, but in in future seasons add another treasure hut store, I think that would be amazing, because I kind of miss this a lot. The other one that of course does still exist in the new place is the Boa Ironhoof. The trap is what I'm going to call it. This right here has been almost always exclusively a trap. Buying gear here completely melts your gold reserves. I think I only bought like a handful of different things. This was almost always a horrible decision to go for, because gold was such a limited resource. It still is. Don't do it. It does have a new version on the new continent. Just stay away from it. Trust me, just stay away. Please give us some additional Ashen coins or something like that. That would be really, really fun, and another small sense of progression. So again, there's probably more things that I missed here, but I wanted to at least get my thoughts onto paper and then translate that into a video and talk to you guys, the community, the ones who are playing the game, to see what you say. And again, please, I try to stay positive about a lot of stuff. I very rarely get straight up negative about anything. I always try to look for positive or look for a solution and share that solution. So if you guys have a solution to any of these, again, please try to keep it constructive. If it becomes a flame war, then that just like it kills the whole point of us even doing this video. The whole point of doing this is try to get constructive feedback. Let me know your concerns. Let me know what you would change to make things better, not just be like, hey, give me more summons. Come on, put a little effort into some comments and stuff like that, and then I'll pass it along to the community managers that hopefully pass along to the developers, and then maybe we see some of these changes. One thing I will say, it does sound like they are actively compiling information that they see. Yes, the community managers, the support. I do think visit Reddit. Man, it must be fun on Reddit for them right now. But it does sound like they're listening and they're trying to compile information that we can hopefully see in a week or so, maybe. Some changes. Hopefully it's not too late. Hopefully you guys can leave some good feedback. If you guys enjoyed this one, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button. We're gonna have a ton of videos coming out this week talking about the changes, new heroes, new game modes, new team lineups, and fun team lineups. See you guys next time.